In this video, I want to talk to you about the new Blackmagic Design Web Presenter 4K. So a few weeks back, Blackmagic introduced a couple of new hardware solutions, and as a live streaming production company, I was obviously very interested to see what they would come out with. And as per usual, Blackmagic held their press conference by means of a YouTube live stream, which according to Grant Petty was actually streamed on the new Web Presenter 4K, which was very interesting. Now, along with the new streaming encoder, they also announced new hyperdecks, which look very nice, and some new studio cameras. Now, these cameras especially were long due for replacement, but it's funny to me that the entire industry really feels like their decision to go with another MFT mount was obviously very peculiar, to say the least. But I don't want to dive into that discussion right here. This is about the Web Presenter 4K. So what about it? Well, we as a company actually use the Web Presenter HD in our systems. They have been a true godsend for us. We have two, one in each of our mobile studios, and I ordered them right away when they were announced in February earlier this year. I actually had to wait around 5 months to actually get them, but from the day we started using them, they really simplified our processes by being such a nicely integrated solution. Now, they are not without their flaws. I mean, the fact that you have to break into the code to add a service like Vimeo or something like that, other than the included ones, is a little weird to me. But at least the unit saves this information on the unit itself. So unlike the 18 Mini Pros, it's actually saved on the unit itself, which is good. Also, the stream buffer and the caching that's done on the device and can't be disabled in any way is a little debatable. But from our experience, they've been really simple to use and seem very reliable, to say the least. So what about the 4K model then? Now, I've seen a lot of people on the internet and on YouTube actually celebrating this announcement of this new 4K unit, but I really don't understand what all the hype is about. So yes, maybe if they would have come out with a 4K model from the get-go, from day one, I might have considered it over the HD model, but mainly for future-proofing reasons. Because looking at the state of the industry, I really don't see a place for this unit and streaming in 4K at the moment at all. I mean, I'm glad it's here, don't get me wrong. It's nice that it's available, and it's nice that it's so competitively priced. And you could say that now with this 4K unit, we finally have a method of pushing 4K content to the web, from cameras to switchers to actually encoding the signal to the internet. So now we have a complete chain for providing 4K content to the web, which was very good. But as soon as the device was announced, I did some research and I couldn't really find any platform that's actually capable of streaming in 4K, other than YouTube and perhaps some custom solutions from companies like Boxcast. But even as platforms will inevitably rise to the occasion and allow you to stream in 4K, probably against increased costs, don't forget that, I really don't get the point of streaming in 4K just yet, at least for the majority of the people in the business. So what do I mean by that? Well, during the pandemic, we've seen a tremendous amount of interest in our live streaming services as a company, often providing solutions to create alternative types of events, from corporate meetings to hosting theater performances, weddings, and so on. And a big part of our service was actually helping clients comprehend what was going on in terms of live streaming. I mean, the pandemic caught a lot of people off guard, forcing them to adapt to a new way of communicating and interacting. And more often than not, we've seen a lot of our clients and customers struggle with this new technology. I've had customers ask me to deliver in 720p or sometimes even 480p due to various limitations in terms of bandwidth, storage on their devices, indicating that even streaming in Full HD was already a little bit too much for some people. Now, of course, I know that a good live streaming player will actually use the adaptive bitrate technology to deliver an experience that is optimized for the end user, considering their bandwidth and screen size and so on. But that doesn't really mean I feel like streaming in 4K will have any point in the very near future. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that it's here, and it was probably a small effort for Blackmagic to create this 4K model on top of the HD model, but I just don't really understand the hype about it from an industry perspective. And also, I would have just loved to see them come out with a new set of switchers instead of this device, and providing us with more comprehensive tools like they implemented in the A10 Mini Extreme. Maybe I'm just missing some key element in the story, so if you feel like you can shine any light on the matter, please comment below so we can have a little chat about it. And if not, I hope to see you in the next one.